Hello friends, it's Cindy Brumbaugh from CindyLeeBDesigns.com, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I have a quick and easy fun fold for you today using the Trucking Along bundle. It has a punch with it that cuts out our truck there, and it has some fun things like presents and potted plants and flowers and trees and the little wooden slats that can go on the truck. It has a nice sentiment for Christmas and also one sending you sunny thoughts with the palm trees, Christmas trees, clouds. It's just so adorable. It's on our online exclusives right now, so just keep looking and seeing when it's available. But it's a big hit here, and I wanted to use it with another online exclusive, and that is this gorgeous paper that came with the horse and sleigh bundle. It's called One Horse Open Sleigh. This paper is beautiful. It has all these scenes in it, and on the opposite sides of the beautiful scenery, we have some fun patterns here. These would be great for Christmas cards. All those beautiful times that you need just a small, tight pattern, a beautiful wood grain. So we're using that, and that again is on the online exclusive, and that's the One Horse Open Sleigh paper. And so let me show you how I actually ended up making this. My son has a December birthday, so I used a stamp set that we have called the Best Family Ever that has all of our family names from aunt and uncle, grandpa, grandson, husband, niece. We have mom with the U, and we also have mom with an O. And so I wanted to use that for my son because he has a winter birthday. However, my mom, who would love this vintage truck here, has an fall birthday. So I decided to use one of the patterns in that paper that just kind of reminded me of a little bit of a fall here. We've got some Cajun craze leaves on the trees here. So I was going to use this one. So that led me to use the Misty Moonlight card base to bring out that beautiful. Look at how pretty that lemon lolly is. And I'm thinking this is, they're calling with the Cajun craze here, this like a muted little bit of a Cajun craze, very, very light there. But I think that's the color that's in there. Does it say Calypso? No. So I'm thinking it's the Cajun craze. So there we go. All right, so I'm going to show you how quick this is. Now this is just an 8.5 by 5.5, and I scored it at 2 1/8 and 4 1/4. So essentially, I scored the 8.5 at 4 1/4 and put it in half, and then I took the 4 1/4 and scored it in half, which is 2 1/8, and then that makes the little fun fold there. Now you've probably seen this card style on Pinterest by other people, and they put the scene here, 1, 2, scene, and then they have a piece here for writing. But I actually did it a little bit different here. I pulled it this way because I didn't want to, I originally had this piece over here and this piece over here, and I didn't like the fact that, I mean, you could see the sentiment, but then it left a place that was just stark white, which you could have put the writing part on the back of the card, but I just decided that the scenery would work well just going the whole way out, and then you're covering up what you might write in there. So that's what I decided to do. Now, also, I've seen this card done, and people have just cut it 2, 2, 2, but I'm a little stickler with this being 2 1/8, and if you go down 1/8 and 1/8 on each side, it goes to 1 7/8, and it just, I had to do it that way. But I did make this 5 1/4. So what we're gonna do is bring our Stampin' trimmer here, and we're gonna cut. What you're gonna do when you're doing any scene, you're gonna see what part actually you should cut off. On this one, I wanted to save this whole bottom part, but on the, I think on this one, I did the same thing. I saved the bottom, but I cut the top off. But sometimes the scene might be better in the inside of the paper, the middle. So just decide which way, but you want it to be 5 1/4. And I thought it was okay to just do 5 1/4. If you're eyeing up this gold tape up here, it's called Win Tape, WINTAPE. I got it on Amazon. It reads from right to left the way our trimmer does. It just helps me to be able to see, like I can now know that this one is at 5 1/4. So we're just going to oh, what am I doing? I'm doing it wrong. See, I want to cut it this way because I want to have some of that beautiful ground in it. So we're just going to cut that with our cutting blade, and we're going to now that could be a pretty thing to do there. Oh, and now that I think about it, I kind of wanted to save, see, that was a tricky one because I wanted to save some of these leaves here, but we still see them in here. So either way would have been fine. So, oh, what am I putting this away for? We now need to cut these into 1 7/8. So I'm going to do 1 7/8, 1 7/8, and 1 7/8. Okay. 1 7/8 is 2 of the little tick marks below 2. So the bigger one is 1 3/4, but right in between those is 1 7/8. Okay, so there is 1. Now let's go over again to 1 7/8. I'm gonna see if you can see where 1 7/8 is. Okay, I remember that I never understood all of, well, of course I did at one time for a test in high school, but I didn't get super familiar with all of those numbers till I started stamping and making cards. Okay, so then we just have this little piece left over, but look how pretty that is. Oh, see, that definitely can be used on a card. Okay, so now we have these 3, okay, we're just gonna do 1, 2, 3, so that we have them matching up. We'll put our trimmer aside. So this is this one, this is this one, this is this. It's very forgiving. Excuse my goofy looking arm there. That was pretty scary. Go from the other side. Okay, so there, okay? So now I'm gonna show you what I did. Now this one is gonna go here. This one is gonna go here. And this one is gonna go here. I see a little raggedy edges. I think I need to change my trimming blade. But one of these like nail sanders is very helpful in just getting off those little raggities. Okay, so those are gonna be these ones. Now, let's go ahead and glue these down. Okay, and you'll see why the 1 7/8 just gives you, even though you have that 1/8, okay, give it a little bit there. And I'm going to give that a nice equal border on the top, bottom, left, and right. Okay, and now let's put in our next piece. Just using a little of my Tombow glue. Not being extremely generous with the glue because if I want to remove it like I did on that other one when I put the sentiment on the end, I can remove it. And what I did is I just took my heat gun underneath the paper on this side, and it kind of loosened it up, and then I just pulled it off easy. Okay, so there, and then we're gonna put this one over here. And the main thing that I wanna do is make sure that my left and right side of my card line up nicely, that they both have a nice border on the left and the right, the top and the bottom. Okay, because you don't have a score line on this side, okay? And you can see when this closes, you're gonna have these match up, and you have this and this, this, and this matching up. That leaves space for here. Now remember, I said these are 1 7/8 because I like the border the same on each of the sections, but this one, I did make 2 inches. And I'm gonna be able to do that right there. And the reason I made it 2 inches and not 1 7/8 is because my sentiments fit in there. So I'm using the best family ever, like I said before. And what I'm going to do is use some of the colors in the paper. I'm gonna be using Misty Moonlight and Cajun Craze. There we go. And I'm going to do To My Wonderful Mom, okay? So I'm gonna go some Misty Moonlight to my, and I have to kind of bring this down a little so I'm going straight. The cursive's a little bit, the cursive is a little bit whimsical. So you'll be okay too. I love the way this photopolymer is stamping. And I have to look up to my wonderful, wonderful mom. I'm going to do back to blue. Okay, and we're back to Misty Moonlight. To my wonderful mom, I want to do happy birthday. And let's go back to Cajun. And do the happy birthday. And I can still write a little message in there. And then I'll put, this is really cool because it does have a lot of, from your, this is our, I'm going to do the bottom one first, which would be Cajun. Okay. Now, I could be presumptuous and say, to my wonderful mom from your wonderful daughter. I was considering that. She would find that funny. Okay, but I'm going to put daughter down here at the bottom. Make sure I've got enough Cajun on there. Daughter. It has the word love in there as I put in here. Love mom. So we put daughter in there, and we're going to put from your. I'm just going to test it over here on my. Yeah, there we go. Just was looking like I wasn't picking up enough ink. There you go. Isn't that kind of cute? And then yeah, I write a little message in there like, I love you. I could put the love from your daughter, but I'm not going to. I want to write a little message in there. Like, hey, I made you a card, Mom. Aren't you proud? So I'm throwing that in there. Now you're going to notice, like, why did you pick Cajun Craze? But it is one of the colors, and then see, it just closes up there. You don't see that. It does have the Cajun Craze in here. It's a little bit darker, but it all comes together when I make the little truck, okay? So I'm gonna show you how sweet that little truck is. So the little truck, I'm just gonna go ahead and use Misty Moonlight here. You just stamp your truck, okay? And I already cut mine out because I knew that I would. Now I'm gonna go Cajun Craze, because on camera I probably would have messed it up. But there are these little openings here, these little openings on the photopolymer stamp. Those go right underneath the fenders. So I lined up my window, and then I lined up those openings right underneath my fenders, and I stamped. And holy moly, I think I got an A on that. But I was afraid I wouldn't, so I already punched one out with this really cute punch here. I just popped that in, punched that out. You can do the window, you can do the cab on there, and this circle is the wheels. And what I did here is I, stamped this, but you could easily color this if you want, but you won't have that detailed accent of the shadow there. And then I just used light basic black blends and light smoky slate blends for that. Now, in the Trucking Along, you have all these fun things that you can put in there. And if you knew my mom, she's a flower lady and a potted plant lady. I was going to do the potted plants, but these flowers just looked really cute to me. But so I stamped those little flowers. Let me show you where I did that. I stamped them and I started playing around with them. And I found the easiest thing to do was use my Stampin' Write markers to color those in. They are so tiny. Look how pretty they turned out there. I just used Lemon Lolly that pulled out the lemon lolly that's in the paper, and then I used Granny Apple Green, another bright green, and I just used these because it was a small area to color in. I wasn't going to get any streaks. My blends might have blended a little too much, and I did use Misty Moonlight on here, and I just saw that I have, and you'll notice here our old Stampin' Blend markers had a plastic tip on it. Our new ones have a blunt felt tip, so you can see the difference in those. So I think this is going to be good, but then also this was a little bit finer tipped, but I have been using this blunt end to fix little things that I've stamped. Oh, like for instance, I think, oh, I don't have a sample here, but I had something that I had kind of had to fill in. I think it was my card yesterday on Monday. Anyway, so we're gonna pop this. And so I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue. All I did was fussy cut this. There's not a punch or any die or any special thing to do that, but it was very easy to fussy cut. And you know, if I said easy fussy cutting, then it was. So here we go. We're just gonna pop those flowers in the truck, making sure to get the bottom of the stems. But I wanna get that leaf there. There we go. And the fun thing about this is we're gonna pop this truck up, and the way I did it, I'm just gonna take 3 dimensionals on my fingers here, is the way well, I thought I had everything turned off. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna put it right here, and it looks like it's covering the whole scene here on these 2 panels. But when you open it, it covers this scene. So I thought that was really neat. So I'm gonna put a dimensionals on the cab and on the wheels. And I'll be able to close this up and then put that right there. It gives when the card is closed, like I said, it gives that whole scenery look there. But then when you open it, it gives a scenery there, and you have that wonderful thing. So is that just the cutest thing ever? So I would jump on tomorrow. Oh, no, not tomorrow. Today. Tomorrow is tomorrow. When you watch this, it will be tomorrow. Today is Tuesday, the 18th of July. Tomorrow, July 19th, when you may be watching this, we're having a 15% off annual catalog stamp sales. Not the online exclusives, which the truck is and this paper is, but if you're making some purchases at 15% off of the stamps in the annual catalog, you could throw these on your order as well to save on the shipping. So this one-horse open sleigh that comes with this really great stamp set I haven't used yet, but has the Christmas and the tree, really pretty. So it's on there as a suite. But this Trucking Along bundle, and if you haven't checked this out, this one will be 15% off tomorrow, or today. I'm confused. I'm making my video the day before the 19th. So today, while you're watching this video, on July 19th, you can get this stamp set at 15% off. So isn't that just a cutie patootie there? And you'll see where the Cajun comes in there. So here are the 2. So we've got a winter birthday for my son and a fall birthday for my mom in September. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me at cindyleeb@gmail.com. You can also call or text me at 724-323-2296. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. I post every Wednesday a YouTube. On my blog, cindyleebdesigns.com, I post Monday, Wednesday, Friday with the video on Wednesday. You can subscribe to my blog as well. You'll be notified when I post on my video or any special things that are going on, sales, promotions that Stampin' Up! Has, anything I think you need to know about. Also, it's not too late to sign up for my online Lucky Hand Zoom. I've already done my initial mailing out of the kits to those who responded before July 14th, but I can still get them sent out to you. You possibly might get them before the event on the 24th. We're doing it via Zoom if you want to do that. If not, I can send the kits to you after the event, the week after the event. So I think it's going to be fun. We're using the Wanted to Say dies for really great projects, and you do that all for a $40 order. You can see on my blog there's a registration button. It's at 2 p.m. Eastern or 7 p.m. Eastern on the 24th of July on Monday afternoon or evening. If you have any questions, please contact me. Thanks for buzzing by, friends.